Today is January 4th, 2023. We are looking for a quorum here. From the board. We have a quorum?
Yep.
Okay. There's a confirmation of a quorum. We're going to move to our next item, which is public comments. I understand we do have some individuals that want to speak for public comment.
Kayla Taboada.
Are they on the way? Okay, we'll give them a couple of minutes. Okay.
Tiante Bogan.
Do you repeat that name?
Tiante Bogan. Susan Rubalcaba.
Good afternoon, Board. My name is Susan Rubalcaba, and for months I have been speaking out about the Temasca fiasco and all of the players involved. Today, I thought I would just simply Google Brownsville PUB in Temasca to see what the headlines are saying, and here are a few. City of Brownsville plans charter changes post Temasca. PUB knows what to do with the $29 million in equity funds. Temasca audit concludes we misled for forensic investigation results. Least. Quick audit shows Brownsville PUB customers paid for a project that never came to fruition. PUB places its CEO on paid leave following outcry stemming from Temasca audit. Brownsville digs into how Temasca power plant project never came to fruition. False narrative, forensic analysis puts PUB over Temasca. Brownsville PUB audit raises questions over the involvement of Cannon County judges law firm. PUB audit reviewed by federal investigators. PUB overhaul will act or dodge the bullet. It's robbing. Customers react to forensic audit. Call for firing the Brownsville PUB CEO. And last but not least, doomed to fail. Spotlight over the Temasca deal. Yes, this is how PUB is currently perceived globally and nationally. You would think that with this much public outcry, news coverage, blogger coverage, and social media posts, that this board and the city commission would actually respond. Wrong. We have waited almost 3 months since the board placed CEO John Buzak on administrative leave for an update from the board and a statement from Buzak. We have been waiting almost 3 months for this board to take action. This is what you said on October 11th in the statement. It is clearly important that we respond to the audit in a measured and factual, deliberate manner that takes into account what is best for the community, the city of Brownsville PUB, and we must do this quickly. Webster defines quickly as little or no delay, promptly, at a fast speed, and rapidly. How many days have passed? 3. He is still and we're still paying him. Imagine that an 80-day vacation includes Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, all paid by the people. You're in the kitchen of them. Classify this problem. The subcommittees have money ahead. The only thing you've done by your silence, inaction, and reflection is perpetuate the guilt of each and every one of you in the public eye. Every single one of you that are involved in that or not, directly or indirectly, in this crowd-flooded lives of the city, knowing your head and your heart that what we're doing or rendering for the citizens of Brownsville is disgraceful. This is not the definition of a public servant, it is disappointing. On October 25th, in a letter to John Buzak, this bill wrote, this notice of administrative leave is being issued to you, pending the outcome of the board's review of the CAA financial audit. You are being placed on administrative leave for 60 days, effective October 17th. As you know, serious allegations have been made against you in the audit. Nothing in this notice offers or should be construed to alter your at-will status. Nor is there constituted for any specific period of time. You will remain an at-will employee and neither terminate the relationship by being appointed for any reason other than without cause. You remember this? Did you hear it? He's an at-will employee, no contract, no obligation, no ownership of the CEO position. Mr. Guzman was in charge. He had ultimate responsibility to the board, the city, and the people. And even if he did nothing alleged in that report, other than to lay notice of the dead deal to the board, city, and people for the continued of the oppositions, still guilty as charged, and should be terminated. The public is working. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. The next speaker, please.
Billy Bradford,
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Billy Bradford, Mayor. So nice to see all of you. Billy Bradford Jr., I'm a certified public accountant with the firm of Haney and Company, offices in 14 cities across the United States, 6 states, but most importantly with an office right here in beautiful Brownsville, Texas. I am a proud citizen of Brownsville, always have been, grew up here, went to public school here, went to high school here, went off to attend and play golf at Aberdeen Christian University, but I could not wait to get back to Brownsville. So in 1985, my wife and I moved back here, have been involved in the practice of public accounting since then. One of the absolute pleasures of my entire life, though, was to serve in the capacity of Public Utilities Board member. And City Commission Police Board, in 1997, I served in that capacity for 8 years and rolled off of that board in the year 2005. In 2004, I had the pleasure of being the chairman of the Southwest Regional Water Authority and was privileged to be able to cut the ribbon on that facility in April of 2004. In the year of 2011, Governor Perry appointed me to the Texas Water Development Board, and I served as chairman of that board until 2013. So all of that because of my service here on this board. And I came to the realization many, many years ago that we have something here in Brownsville that every municipality in the Rio Grande Valley wishes they had. And that's the ability to generate their own electricity. We do it very, very effectively. No one knows it better than you all here. We do it effectively every day. Are there a few glitches along the way? Absolutely. The other thing we do very, very well, and I became intimately aware of it in my tenure on the Water Development Board with the work done with the Region M Planning Board, is that we have a portfolio, we, the citizens, at the direction of this group, have the best portfolio of water resources in the entire state. Region M's done that tremendously. Reservoir water, surface water, groundwater, seawater. Every time you reach for the spigot in the morning or late at night, guess what? It turns on. Same thing with your light. After a long day of work and you come back home, you hit the light switch, guess what happens? It comes on. The system works very, very well. Always have. At the direction of a group that's not to be a political body. The political body's that city. This is a pragmatic group of men and women that are able to make hard, tough decisions when they need to be made. So having said all that, I'm going to tell you that I wholeheartedly support John Brusiak. John has been here since 1979. This is the only professional job, to my knowledge, that he has ever held. So we have a young man from upstate New York that graduated from college, moved to Brownsville, and I believe the CEO at the time was a gentleman named Roundtree, and he worked for Roundtree, and he worked for Bill Tower, he worked for Don Edgley. And then I had the pleasure 24 years ago of being on the board that hired him as the general manager of the system. He's been in that capacity every day since. Tremendous man. You know what he's made of. You know the integrity he has. You know him as an individual because you work with him every day. know him. I know him. He's a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, always has been. We have a love for the city. We have a love for this system, most definitely. I'm not here to speak of the report. The report's produced by a professional group of men and women. It's an opinion that they have rendered based on whatever the work product was, in the work that went into it. This report is filled with opinion, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here simply to tell you that you have a tremendous individual that cares for the community, has been the steady hand at the table for a long period of time. And so tonight, I'm assuming it's on the agenda to address his future here, and the easy thing would be to go back in executive session and collectively decide to terminate him and let him go. The difficult thing would be to think through this. And I congratulate whether you have. The last 90 days must have been torturous for you. But to think through this in a pragmatic fashion, the way you undoubtedly have. You've read the report. You wouldn't be here tonight if you hadn't. You know what's in it. You have questions about it, most definitely. And the amount of time that you've given to it to understand it and evaluate it is applaudable. So congratulations. Do the difficult thing tonight. Support the gentleman that has supported all of us.
Time's up.
Thank you. God bless you. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you for that. We have another speaker.
Do you want to start from the top?
Yes, if the first speaker is now available.
Kayla Taboada.
Good afternoon. Wow, I'm blown away. I don't have a written script this time because honestly, I'm sick and tired of showing up here, talking about the same thing, trying to write a nice elaborate speech, just as probably as sick and tired as you are as having to listen to us citizens express our anger and outrage at the ridiculous. I'm just out of words. I am angry. I'm very angry. I'm angry because it's been 80 days, as Susan mentioned, and you have done nothing. You didn't even come out and write any written statements about what was happening or what you are possibly thinking of doing. But yet you continue to come out and act like, you know, we're going to be transparent and we care about the community and, you know, this is why we're going to do this and X, Y, and nothing gets done. We're tired. You've seen the comments on your public utility page on Facebook, on social media. Just because the public is not here, we're representing the public. I feel like I am one of the voices of those people that are out there expressing what they're expressing on social media. And before we know it, I believe that every single person is going to be here backing us up and standing behind us because this is how we feel. I don't know how you sit there month after month or, you know, having these meetings, knowing what has happened and knowing how we feel, and you just, you know, but we're doing it for you guys. You know, I'm tired. I'm tired of, like I said, I'm being formal and trying to act. I'm not going to try to act like anything because I'm definitely not going to try to act like you guys. Trying to act like you're going to do something but yet nothing. So basically, I'm just here, you know, get rid of that man because he's deceitful and he has lied. And yes, okay, so you guys run a good public utility because obviously we do get to turn on our light and we do get to bathe with hot water and all this stuff. Yes, of course, we are grateful for those things, but that's part of the having this, right? But that doesn't take the fact that, you know, he lied. He made up it was like a scheme. And so when you continue to take money, we don't believe anything else anymore that comes out from you guys. And we're going to try really hard to fight you guys till the end because we're sick and tired. And I think if there's a headline to this is we're sick and tired. So get rid of that man, because if you don't get rid of that man, you're continuing to show us that you are just like him. Deceitful, manipulative, and man, with all your respect, you need to step down off your seat and go. Yeah, I know, thank you.
You shouldn't be directing it to anybody in particular. I have a problem with that.
I think we need to remind all the speakers, or if we have any speakers, that we need to keep this discourse very civil, very professional. We don't need to make any specific gestures for any particular board member, please. Is there any other speakers at this time?
Chiante Bogan, Ezequiel Silva,
Mayor, how y'all doing? I know that this is don't get me wrong, Happy New Year to all of you guys. I'm not here because I want to be here. I'm here because I'm a business owner and born and raised here in Brownsville. Didn't have much, made something on myself. Owning a small business in Brownsville is not easy. I guess owning business right now anywhere in the United States or in the world is not easy. We got to count every penny, every dollar. We fight. Competition is fierce, both here in the States and across the border and anywhere else that we're at. PUB is something that the citizens of Brownsville invested in decades ago to help with our utilities and to save us money. The investment was initially done, and the fruit is what we sow. Basically, we have all the utilities that we should as a big city, and hopefully, God willing, a fast-growing city. But it doesn't change the fact that we were deceived, manipulated. We knew that this Tenaska thing wasn't going to happen. If you look at the forensic error, which you guys want to see it, the fact of the matter is that there was the ex-mayor, Tony Martinez, conspiring with the CEO to deceive the taxpayers, the PUB utility ratepayers. I myself don't have a choice to choose another electric or water company. I'm tied to PUB. I don't have a negotiating tool in my pocket to say, okay, well, it's not my problem, it's PUB ratepayers' problem. I am a PUB ratepayers' problem. The problem is I was deceived and money was taken away from me and my family and my business. Money that should have gone back into my business to the employee people, sustain my bills, pay my taxes, invest, multiply, whatever you all want to call it. Now, each and one of you here, most of you here, if not every one of you here, was born and raised here in Brownsville, have family, have friends, have a legacy to lead, have a legacy to leave behind. Your name is on the dotted line now. You might have been the cause of this situation, but you could be the solution to this situation. The money was already taken. The forensic tells you how it was done, who was done, maybe more information that you guys have that we don't. But it was done regardless. And it wasn't done in the blink of an eye. It took years to get it done. And even when the truth came out, the rates were continually taken away from us. Knowingly, the city of Brownsville also took money from them. Knowingly that the money was never going to be recuperated because there was no Tenaska ever to be built. You can't change the fact that Tenaska was never going to happen, no matter how you say it. This is not personal. This is business. Each and every one of you own a business. Work a business. Run a business. Know that when you're manipulated by the people that you trust, you're not going to keep them around and wait for the next big scam. The trust has been broken. The utility board has a strong decision. Yes, you have a strong decision to make. You're going to have to choose friendship or the majority of the people that are suffering out there, the poor people that had their lights cut out, during the freeze that weren't able to pay, the people that had to either give up something to pay their utility bills or be without water or without electricity. The ones that didn't have to pay couldn't even pay the rent because they had to pay the utilities. People that were sick, that have to have oxygen because they survive or they die. You gotta take all those people into consideration, the people that are on fixed income, that are already at the retirement age. What are you all gonna tell them when you guys don't make those hard decisions? That's what you guys are put on the board, not to pat yourselves in the back, to make those hard decisions, the decisions that you guys got appointed to. This is not about friendship. This is about doing what is right. Because y'all's conscience is the one that's gonna have to deal with it. Us ratepayers, we're gonna have to swallow it again. But it doesn't change the fact that we're already hurting. The reputation has already been lost. The trust, has been lost. Y'all need to regain it somehow, some way. The reputation of other cities, other investors that are coming in, and they're reading what's on the newspapers, what's on Google search. That's what's
Time's
gonna
up.
hurt us the most. So I thank you guys, and I just pray for you all.
Thank you, Mr. Shelby.
Sergio Delgadillo.
There you go. Good afternoon, board members. My name is Sergio Delgadillo. Sorry, I'm a resident of Brownsville. I'm a BPUB customer, and I'm a BPUB employee, all of which I'm very proud to be. I stand here today to express in one voice the sentiments shared by many BPUB employees in support of Mr. John Brusiak, our CEO and leader. BPUB is fortunate to have the leadership of Mr. Brusiak. For over 40 years, John has dedicated himself to this utility, the Brownsville community, and all the BPUB staff. Thanks to his vision, his leadership, his direction, we have a strong and solid organization in every way, capable of meeting the demands of dynamic and growing population over time and in the present time. John is a great example of servant leadership. In addition to creating pathways for employees' growth, mentor, and opportunity, John continuously steers this utility forward. So sorry. All while embracing BPUB's core values. John led this company with humility and resolve. He's always been fair and honest. In fact, he has more integrity than most anyone will ever come across. To say he's a straight shooter will be an understatement. We speak for many BPU employees when we say that we're disappointed, saddened to see how the public and some elected officials have painted his character to be untrustworthy. The lies and accusations made by those who don't know him or his work ethic are disheartening. BPUB as an organization is today because of the great leadership, which is a reflection of John's commitment, honesty, hard work, and genuine intent in making BPUB better every day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Eddie Hernandez.
Good afternoon, Chairman, members of the board, Mayor. My name is Eddie Hernandez. I'm a resident of Brownsville, a registered voter, a PUB customer, and an employee of PUB for 31 years. I would like to address the perception that the Tenaska rate issue was somehow secretly implemented. I would like to point out that the plan was taken once to the PUB Board of Directors and twice to the City Commission and approved by both entities. The plan was presented to both bodies publicly and in the light of day. Though in retrospect, some may disagree with the results of the plan, the process was followed. There were no lies, there were no secrets. Those are misrepresentations. John has led PUB through hurricanes, freezes, economic downturns, and the COVID-19 pandemic. John has always had our customers and employees' best interests at heart. We respectfully ask that you consider what John has done for this utility before taking any action, and that you allow John to continue leading this utility forward. After more than 40 years of dedicated service to the community, we think it's what he deserves. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Are there any additional speakers? Okay, we'll continue with the agenda. We have one item for individual consideration. Ms. Gilbert, would you like to present that item? Item number one?
Yes, item number one is consideration and possible action to approve PPV board travel in accordance with this policy for travel by members of the board and directors of the Brownsville Public Utilities Board. This item is for action for consideration for Mr. Art Rendon to travel.
Okay. Do we have a motion does this impact all the board members?
Yes, this does apply to all the board members, and it either happens depending if it happens before or after, ratified before or after. In this case, the travel will be happening on January 11 or on or before that timeframe, and so we happen to be bringing it before the board meeting here.
Okay. We have a motion, or any questions or concerns?
To approve.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. All those against, or nays? Okay, motion passes. I'm now going to get into matters of closed meeting. Recess to close meeting to consider matters pursuant to Texas Government Code 551. The following items, at this time, the items on the agenda designated for closed meeting will be considered. If there's an approved motion to go to closed meeting, it will be placed on hold until the board returns to open meeting. The following items are going into closed meeting. Number one, discussion and possible action on the retention of a consultant by the interim general manager and CEO and to determine qualifications of electric utility consultant to assist with administrative and professional duties. There's section 551.074 and 551.071. Item number two, discussion and possible action to authorize the interim general manager and CEO to initiate the recruitment and hiring of in-house council staff and determine qualifications and duties of potential staff under section 551.074 and 551.071. Item number three, consideration and possible action on Brownsville PUB acquisition of right-of-way and easements for the Cross Valley Pipeline project, including pending condemnation lawsuit cause number 2014-CCL-00700, City of Brownsville, Texas versus 85 Jacaranda Limited Partnership, also known as 85 Jacaranda Partnership, County Court of Law number 2 of Cameron County, Texas, under section 551.071 and section 551.072. Item number four, discussion of possible action to review the criteria for the request for qualification proposals for local board council under section 551.071. Item number five, discussion and possible action to review the criteria for the request for qualifications proposals for special utility council under section 551.074 and 551.071. Item number six, meeting of the board's legal counsel for advice about contemplated and pending court and administrative litigation and on matters in which the duty of the attorney under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct conflicts with chapter 551, section 551.071, including, among other matters, the CRI forensic examination report and any new and or additional information received regarding the forensic examination report and possible retention of professional consultant regarding the forensic examination report. Item number seven, deliberations regarding the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of the CEO of the Brownsville Public Utility Board under section 551.074 and 551.071. Do we have a motion to move into executive?
So move.
Second.
Second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion passes. We will now move into executive session. Good evening, everyone. We are now reconvening from executive session. On item number one, the board will authorize the interim general manager and CEO to determine qualifications of electric utility consultant to assist with administrative and professional duties.
You need to get a motion to authorize.
I'm sorry. I'll entertain a motion to authorize an action item, which is on number one.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Item passes. Number two, to authorize the interim general manager and CEO to initiate the recruitment and hiring of in-house counsel, staff, and determine qualifications and duties of potential staff under section 551.074 and 551.071.
You just need a motion.
With just a motion to authorize.
So.
Okay, I'm sorry, now I'm good.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to proceed and discuss in executive session.
Second.
Okay, so all the items that were discussed are now approved, okay.
We need to vote on that. We have a motion in a second, correct?
Right.
You gotta say.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Nay. The last item that we have for this evening is tonight. 4 and 5, there's no,
No action.
Yes, we're authorizing the general manager to prepare the request for qualifications for local council.
okay.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
For 4 and 5, we have a motion on those two. All those in favor? Aye. Those against? None. About number 6, Marjorie?
Hold on, item 3, for clarification, item 3.
Tabled item.
Right, so then we need a motion to table. I'll go ahead and make a motion to table item 3.
Item 3, consideration of the table. Got motion,
Second.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Item passes. Number 6, there's no action on that one.
There's no action on 6 or 7.
On number 7, tonight, the PUB board has accepted the retirement of Mr. John Brusiak with more information coming in the next scheduled meeting. Any discussion and or request for future agenda items? None? Any motion to close the meeting?
Move to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
See you later.